Welcome everyone to the first round of the 2025 Nantucket Open. This is a GMT event and you are watching right here on the Greatest Media Team channel. It is myself, Harry Chace, joined by Mr. GMT himself, Raivis Markons-Craig. Raivis, how are we doing today, my friend?
I'm doing great. I am just so happy to see more coverage of Nantucket. We just posted the skins match. Make sure to check that out. This is going to be some exciting coverage featuring best players in the world. I don't know how we got that done, but we seem to have a trend here in Nantucket, and I love it.
All right, first up we have Mr. Paul Krans rolling himself out right there. We also have Dylan Capaccioli. If you're not familiar with his game, get used to it. One of the best. We have Mr. Kyle Moriarty here. Harry Chace, myself, representing for Rhode Island in this Massachusetts-driven card. And of course, the two-time defending champion of this event, caseywhite. So a nice five-some for you guys today. And if you have never seen this course on coverage, you are in for a treat. Par 68, vacation golf, we like to call it, and one of John Houck's best designs. We're kicking it off with hole one.
Yeah, it's a beautiful hole one, just classic. Bending to the right, finishing about 350 feet in terms of where you want to land, and then about 250 add to that for the approach. Paul Krans is going to go forehand. Last year, if you remember the coverage, his forehand was not there. He was healing an injury, so you're going to see a lot more explosive forehands from him this year.
Yeah, this is a great starting hole. It does bend left to right, but I think equally plays for the backhand turnover or the hyzer forehand. Whatever it is, you want it to go straight before it goes right. So depending on what spin you like, either are good options. And everyone so far in the landing zone. Dylan looking to go a little bit more inside, maybe gets away with that, but as well in birdie position.
Yeah, I think Dylan had the jitters first round here, first few holes. Here we go, Kyle Moriarty, one of the most explosive forehand players I know.
Yeah, that's a nice hyzer rocket. Gets the skip. I think pretty much all five of our players are looking at birdie on hole one as we get a nice replay of this. Nice wide gate there for the forehand, allowing it to travel. Slight flip up and a big skip. See what he's got from there.
This hole averaged 3.7. I'm actually surprised by that. I thought with, almost 50 MPO players, it would average a little better.
Yeah, this hole's tricky. Even coming in at just over 600 feet, there's really no way to make this second shot an easy one. Even the perfect drive will still leave you with pretty much a full shot, as even we saw Paul get that power hyzer forehand still going 9-speed into this green. So you're not gonna. It's not one of those 600-foot par fours where you can just blast it and have a putter in and take your birdie. You're gonna need two quality shots here, and I think that's why it scores so hard.
Yeah, and the rough is so punishing. If you've ever dealt with Nantucket rough, you're dealing with poison ivy, a lot of oak, and just hard to scramble. Oh, from the rough, Dylan, let's see if he can capitalize on a circle two putt. Paul Krans starting us off on those new baskets. How much did you love these new baskets, Harry?
Well, I've been on record to say these are my favorite basket in the sport right now, and I had no idea that we had these new baskets up until hole one of the skins match where I pulled up on the course on my bike and I saw these shiny red things. So it was a sight for sore eyes for sure. And yeah, I love these baskets. They catch really well.
They really do. If anybody wants to know, 19 birdies on this hole, 15th most difficult hole. So for 3.7, I'm actually surprised it's the 15th most difficult. It's going to show you that a lot of these holes are going to be easy, but a lot of these players are very, very good.
Alrighty. Simple as that.
Hole 2, another classic hole, just a little hyzer. We have Casey off the tee. He's most likely throwing his FD.
He goes FD1 here. His Skywalker 2, it's looking like he likes his standstill hyzer shot and just couldn't keep it wide enough, which is the mistake to make on this hole. You see a lot of people accidentally cut it inside a little too early, of course, trying to finish and get that skip back left, as Paul Krans shows you how it's done, right down the gut.
What are you throwing here?
This is an MD5. For me, I like to get this one flat to a little bit of anhyzer, and then have that stability carry it back to the left.
It was just so cool seeing our banners there. We had a lot of support this year, and huge shout out also to Nantucket Inn. A lot of these players were able to stay there overnight and save a lot of money. And we just want to say again, huge shout out to the Nantucket Inn, which was only a mile from the course. So if you're ever thinking about going to Nantucket, you should definitely consider it and stay there.
Yeah, absolutely. I had one great night out at the Nantucket Inn, and was able to bike from the ferry to the island, or sorry, from the ferry to the hotel and to the course and back. Close enough for all of that. So shout out Nantucket Inn for sponsoring this event and giving us a nice discounted place to stay.
So convenient. Let's see if it's conveniently a little too outside for Casey. If you want to see him, ooh, hit a 90-footer. Check out that skins match. He did not disappoint. Neither did you, Harry. That was a really fun event.
Yeah, the skins match is always great. A nice warm-up for this competition as well as Dylan from Circle 2 again. Same kind of putt, just too low, never had the height. His hand never extended up to those chains.
He's just not confident yet. I don't know what it was. It takes him a few holes, I feel like. Maybe it's the coverage, it's the feature card. Who knows? He's been on coverage enough.
I mean, yeah, Dylan is one of those players that has a pretty high variance. You're either going to get his best or sometimes maybe a little bit not to his potential. So definitely I expect to see some highlights out of him during this round, no doubt.
That hole averaged 2.84, and we had 14 birdies. So kind of surprising there wasn't more birdies on that one either. So kind of a slow start for these players and the field right now.
Yeah, slow starts are pretty common here. I mean, it's one of those courses where not many people have that home course advantage. You know, all of us coming from off the island, at least the people in contention that you'd expect to see. And many people come the morning before, even without a practice round. So sometimes it might take just a little bit to warm up to those Nantucket skips.
Speaking of skip, look at you and Casey riding that low burners. Are there any other courses you can get away with that?
There's a couple, but Nantucket is certainly unique on that behalf. I think Casey and I both go in FD3 here, and with a stable 9-speed, you can afford to just keep it low and just let the ground play take you to the basket. Yeah, there's not many like it, that's for sure. It's very unique, but it's sometimes you'll find them out there in the wild for sure.
Wad's going to be shortest of the bunch here so far. And Dylan looking with a massive pull there, getting a huge skip. I think he might have been a little deep there.
Yeah, a lot of those coastal flat courses, pine trees, perfect recipe for those massive skips.
Oh, Krans is going for it. He's playing a little aggressive right now.
Yeah, good touch on that. Didn't make it, but gave it a bid. Well, keeping it close, and Dylan finally gets on the board. You'd expect him to birdie this one with his forehand ability, and yeah, that's going to be a good one for him to add. Hopefully keep it going.
It's a good one for you. Nice little straddle putt for you. Averaging 2.77, so just around the same mark as the previous hole and the hole before. kind of been the theme. I would have expected at least 2.5 on this one, but if you don't have a forehand, this one actually becomes really tough.
Sure, yeah. Hard to imagine the repeatable backhand flight path here. Super technical, and reason why you saw all 5 of us go forehand.
.626 feet. You just got 3 birdies in a row. What happened there, Harry?
Ooh, I don't know. This hole has, I think, historically been my best hole at Nantucket. Just kind of throw it nice and easy down the gut, and I think I was trying to go for maybe a little bit too much there.
You were just trying to go big. No problem with that. Dylan wanting to go big, but he kind of left it low there. And let's see how Paul does here. He's feeling it, folks. You know what Paul's throwing here?
I believe it's a Mayhem. That is typically his driver of choice, and yeah, that definitely looks like that. Blue top Mayhem, yellow rim, and a nice subtle flip up. Perfect distance, perfect combination of that control, but a little bit of that distance as well.
Classic destroyer shot for Wadz there. And shout out to Wadz. Happy newborn. Becoming a dad.
Absolutely. That was one heck of a surprise, but an awesome one at that.
It was on Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah, I think that's when he announced it, and best news of the day.
Absolutely. So exciting to see all these players become fathers and, grow up. And look at you. Speaking of growing up, what was that? The function?
Yeah, I had to take the function from there. Not really much else I could do. And we mentioned the skippy Nantucket grass. Also really good for rollers. Not much in the way, very flat, and pretty easy to control those angles, at least much easier than most courses in New England.
I love it. John Huck really was able to use the terrain to his advantage in terms of this course design. I feel like, adding that or noticing this sort of skip and maybe adding and extending some holes just a little more. And I really appreciate how much thought he put into this course. Look at you. Is that a birdie?
Birdie save from the big roller to stay 4 down through 4.
That was incredible. Did you think you were going to say birdie? Let's be honest.
Of course I did. Yeah, this
Let's
is just one of
go.
those putts you wish you could trap up in a bottle. As soon as it left my hand, I knew it was dead center.
Beautiful. What a sight.
And yeah, you sometimes wonder why you can't do that every time, but it makes it all the more special when you do execute a putt like that.
That was really nice. You were going to make that no matter what, it felt like. See if Kyle can hit one. This would be huge. Heck yeah.
It looks like Kyle's putting pixel these days. I know he's been switching up the putter a few times throughout the season and going with the pixel right now.
You guys pretty much own that hole. Well done there. Moving on to the par 5. This is
your disc is right here.
a lot different than what you've been facing so far. This is going to be 811 feet. This one averaged 5.05. So now we're getting to the harder holes. And the hardest part of the course, I would say 5, 6 are more difficult than some of the back-to-back holes you're going to face in the back 9.
Yeah, it's certainly a different challenge for sure. These holes can be tricky, coming in at a par 5 on the shorter side, but these trees, you'll see kind of everything on these. You'll see people miss them all and get 450 feet down the fairway with some big skips, or you could see someone just under 100 feet off the tee pad. So it's kind of a mixed bag. A lot can happen on these holes.
Can we talk about Dylan choosing the forehand line?
I mean, I've never seen Dylan not choose the forehand line, so no surprise there. But yeah, if you've never seen him before, you're certainly in for a treat, as you might see some things you've never seen before.
This is really well done. And speaking of just perfection, Kyle Moriarty showing the group where to land. That is the perfect spot.
Yeah, that was a well-controlled shot right there. Height, nose angle, hyzer angle, all working together in harmony.
So this is not the first time that you've got to play with Paul Krans and Casey all year, is it?
Shoot, I don't know. I know Paul I played with a few times throughout the year, including round 1 of the World Championships, which was really special. Casey, I don't know, maybe one time, but I really can't put a finger on it. Oh yes, I remember now. Idlewild. We played together there for sure.
It's crazy that you guys are pretty much neck to neck every weekend, but you're not playing together that much. I mean, that says something about the tour. Just the caliber of the tour, I feel like.
You see this signal roller here from Krans. Very decent shot right there. That's going to put him in easy position to be up and down.
If you watch the coverage from last year, he threw that almost 80% of the time because his forehand wasn't working, so he was using the roller instead of the forehand, and it was working out for him really well. I think he was in battle for first place until the end against Casey, and that's why Casey and the Paul matchup and you, Harry, this is just going to be an awesome showdown.
Wow, that certainly had the power to get there.
Really did. How about you with another function? Oh my God, what would you have been shooting without this function?
Well, I think I would have survived, but unfortunately didn't quite get the full flight I needed there. Come in contact with that tree. But again, should be similar to Paul and Dylan. Easy up and downs.
Are you going through the decision of function versus forehand now a lot more than you were last year?
I don't know. Maybe at certain courses for sure, but at Nantucket, the roller is a pretty useful tool. So anytime I know I can hit that first gap and just, because it's also the same thing where it's not a par 4, it is a par 5. So there is still value in getting the birdie. I know with that backhand roller, pretty much where I land is going to be worst case. So I definitely will opt for that.
We had perfect conditions. No wind, no rain. Casey, what a bid.
Come on, Dylan. Yeah.
And we've got Dylan here, a little bit closer than I thought he was.
Don't go far. I'm right here.
No way.
You kidding me? That is incredible. That might be the longest putt of the year on GMT. I'm not even joking.
Wow. So much for those nervy putts and low putts to start. Dylan Cap bringing it right back with the eagle.
Don't go far. I'm right here.
That will boost your confidence in a second.
Nice putt, Dill.
Fifth most difficult hole, and he gets an eagle? Wow.
Match it, baby.
That was awesome.
We have myself from 20 feet for just a nice boring birdie.
Nothing wrong with the birdie. 10 other people joined you. The only eagle of the day, or at least first round. We saw 2 eagles last year. Check out that coverage. All right, moving on to hole 6, back-to-back, par 5. This is 799 feet. Harry, what are your thoughts on this one? What a bomb by Dylan there, though. Wow.
Yeah, this is close to being my favorite hole at Nantucket. Um, I think this middle section with the trees is a little bit too random, but as far as the hole plays, I mean, two really good shots could get you an eagle, and other than that, the hole could play impossibly hard. Um, One of the best separating holes I've ever played, so interested to see how it shakes out.
Yeah, I agree totally there. This is one of my favorite holes, and I believe this is Paul Krans with his new signature tempo, right?
It's a mayhem again, but yes, that is his new signature.
Mayhem. Gotcha.
And getting through the trees to a good spot looks like maybe eagle chance from there.
He got a lot of momentum there. His most improved award is definitely well deserved because I really think, and I texted him this, I feel like his play from last year's coverage to this year's coverage is like day and night. Even though he plays really well last year, it's just the way that he's attacking the pins is a little more explosive this year, and his backhand's a lot more confident, and it's a lot more in the middle. It's just very, very consistent.
Yeah, me personally playing with him a lot, I definitely wouldn't say I noticed too much improvement in his actual raw skills, but much more in the confidence and mental game department. Um, he's had that crispy form for a long time. He's had that good putt for a long time, and he was just kind of confused why he couldn't do it on the course. And I think he was able to put the pieces of the puzzle together a lot better this year. And I mean, it's golf, the game of inches. A little bit of confidence and a little bit of momentum could go a really long way.
Yeah, absolutely. And I really like the way that you said that because my question to you would be how much more confidence did you build within the last year?
I mean, I think like Paul, it's kind of hard to build confidence during the year because even if you have small glimpses of success, even if you have maybe some familiarity with a course or tournament you're playing, the next week it all resets to zero, and you're playing a new course in a new city in a new place, and it can be tough. But definitely excited for next year to see what that brings, and I think I got a very good taste of kind of my attack plan going forward for next year. Got to experience the tour a lot, and hopefully next year come back as a veteran.
Yeah, sophomore year, man. We're looking forward to it and seeing you excel once again. Kyle Moriarty in a great spot here. Jeez. Both you guys.
Yeah, I mentioned. I mean, this hole. I'm curious what it averaged because I mean, a par five where I'm throwing a 100-foot tactic to the pin would seem like an easy averaging hole, but I would suspect that it averages pretty difficult.
It did. It's 5.14, and it's the second most difficult hole of the day. I was hoping to save that stat for you to build up the drama there.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. It's a hole that can be eagled, a hole that you can have a very routine birdie, but it's technical enough to really punish those errant shots. And I mean, I've myself taken bogey, even double bogey with that lost disc penalty last year. So uh, this is one that can really get you.
Mm. Dylan was almost getting another eagle, I think. Great putt there to finish your birdie streak. Keep going, Harry. Wow. Not bad. Are you feeling it?
Yeah, 6 for 6, pretty good start. And we have the Turkey Alley coming up. So hopefully some more birdie opportunities and a chance for that elusive perfect 9. I don't know if that's ever been done on GMT before.
I don't think it has. We were close with the coverage with the Carolina Club. Kyle Creekhouse, we just put round 2 highlights. I think went for 8 for 9. So let's see if you can do it here. And one other shout out that we haven't mentioned is obviously the Nantucket Disc Golf Club. Huge shout out to Todd Rainwater and the club, all the volunteers, Mike Gollin, my assistant TD, Connor Spilman. You guys help this tournament so much, and it helps us make it happen. Obviously, the added cash, $5,000 added cash, is really nice. And this CTP shot by you, Harry, was perfection. What did you throw there?
Yeah, that's my Glow P2. No need to get cute here, just looking for a park job. And take the birdie and move on.
Thanks. It had a chance, right?
Well, that was not your mentality during the skins match, was it?
Of course not. That skin's a different animal.
Well, that was also a beautiful shot by Paul. Very consistent there.
That's an entropy, actually.
Dylan taking his PA5. Had a great year with Prodigy this year. Oh, he ran it.
I tried. Yeah, you did. That's a valiant effort.
He tried, he says.
I love it. You got to run it. But although you and Paul kind of went for the easy birdie approach, I feel like Dylan and Casey just went a little too much, and now they're going to be stuck with potentially a par on a very easy hole. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I mean, I personally opt for kind of the backhand into the ground because I don't want to be in this scenario. On the easiest hole in the course nearly with no putt, seemingly. We'll see if Casey can have some magic. But, yeah, I mean, that's just a frustration I don't want to endure. And I feel like just the percentage plays, you're more likely going to go long into the rough with no putt than ace the hole. And although an ace is nice, we're out here playing golf. And, yeah, that's my mentality on it, at least.
I was just surprised by the fact that they were running it. I don't know if they were actually going for the ace. It's like like what I was really questioning, or if they were just
Right, yeah. I mean, the hole is so short that it's very easy to just accidentally power up a little too much. And even if you throw a 200-foot shot, right, you end up where they ended up. So, definitely not questioning what they're doing or saying maybe they're being foolish by going for the ace, but it can happen very quick. You see the basket. It's a surprisingly narrow tunnel as well. So you might just tense up a little bit, hit it a bit too hard, and then trouble can come really quick.
Well, speaking of trouble, you don't have any trouble because you are puring gaps like it's your job. And going back to hole 7 real quick, shout out to Kevin Shields with his ace. He was one of the few aces during the tournament. That was awesome that he got that one.
Hey, there you go. So maybe the ace is good to get you on some GMT coverage. Get the shout out. Shout out you, Kevin. But
Absolutely.
I'll take my birdie there. We'll be 8 down through 8.
Yeah, averaging 2.41 the previous hole. This one averaged 2.7, so just a little bit tougher, but pretty much shoot 'em straight, classic style golf shot, 280 feet straight.
Nice. Field goal.
Oh, right through the gap
Think he
there.
meant to do that?
I feel like we see one every year.
Wow, that was very close.
That's the field goal. That's a real field goal. Oh my gosh, yeah. That's the worst shot ever.
Commentary by Dylan. No needed added commentary. What is Casey throwing there? Do you know?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, this is the Exo Hard MD5 from the last year's DNA mystery box. I believe Kyle Klein's choice on the mold and plastic right there. And I can tell you from being on tour, a favorite amongst many Discmania pros. Really love that Exo Hard MD5.
It's pretty stable. It was fighting back pretty quickly there. And what a great putt by Casey. I mean, we don't give Casey enough credit on the channel with his putt, I feel like. I feel like he's a consistent machine out there every time that we're watching him putt in that circle 2 area. Good cleanup by Paul there. 25 birdies on that hole this year.
Yeah, called Turkey Alley for a reason. Got to get them while they're hot.
I agree. Almost 60% of the field. Good cleanup. So with one more hole to go into the back nine, I have a little theory.
All right, let's hear it.
Every time that I feel like you sweep the tee pad, you're going to birdie it.
I mean, I've played on these rubber tee pads growing up forever, and a little bit of that rocky stuff on it is never a good combination. Makes them super slippery, super dusty. I want to be able to trust that plant foot, and those black fly pads are quite nice as long as you wipe them off. So happy to do it every time.
I think this was actually the most slick one. We were talking about it for a little bit on the tee pad. You can see Paul actually shaking his feet a little bit. Oh, there he goes. There's a comment. But shout out again to the course management and the volunteers, because aside from that, there's really no issues with this course.
Yeah, we see Kyle even teeing off from the gravel side there for that footing. And yeah, I mean, disc golf's kind of at a weird point with tee pads. I'll just talk about this for a quick second. I mean, these fly pads, for example, you don't want those rough, grabby treads that you'd want for, say, grass or turf. You know, those grab very nicely, but on these black fly mats, they're just flat rubber. So you want, in turn, flat rubber to match that. So it's very interesting. I think one of the more underrated conversations about standardizing tee pads on the tour, all that thing, is the type of shoe that's good for turf is the exact opposite shoe that's good for, say, pavers. So it'd be really important to have that.
That's a really good point. I've noticed that conversation hasn't happened yet, and a lot of people are buying different shoes out there. Like I was at the Q Series finale, and some guy was wearing boots. Like I just feel like sometimes you wouldn't be able to get away with that on some of the different courses out there.
Yeah, and of course you have the Calvin Heimbergs of the world who just don't care and birdie anyway. But you know, you have to say that when you're not on the tee pad, so you're on grass or dirt or whatever you have, you want that tread. And there's a lot of tee pad surfaces, such as pavers and those rubber fly mats, where you don't want tread in order to get grip. So I think turf is the way to go in disc golf because your shoe surface is good on both the tee pad and the fairway.
Wow. There's your check-in, Harry.
Yeah, we kind of skipped right through it, but I was able to go 9 down through 9, and you know, of course, you could eagle and ace and all, but we'll take that perfect 9 headed into the back 9. And looks like not too much of a lead on the field as we have some hot shooters at Nantucket. Sam Streeter, his first time here, he said, never had even seen the course, and was out there bringing a lot of holes. We also have Isaac and David Fleck, some good old buff boys doing their thing. And Nantucket is always an exciting tournament down to the end, so make sure to tune in to the back 9, see how it shakes out. Maybe we even get that 18 under.
Well, with you, anything is possible, Harry. You know that. And I definitely believe in you. And thanks again to all the players that came down to Nantucket. I know you guys had a very busy schedule. Some of you to go to USDGCs and then some other big tournaments going down to the south. It's just so awesome to have you guys here at Nantucket. I know Todd Rainwater loves seeing you and hosting you guys as well. So thank you to everyone that's been involved from the get-go, Nantucket Inn. You guys were a lifesaver. And yeah, Harry, let's see what happens in the back 9. You're starting off super hot. Paul Krans is not far behind you with the 7 down. And then caseywhite is with the 6 down, as well as with Dylan. So we got a lot of action left, including back 9 and then some lead card action dropping soon. And make sure to stay tuned to our vlogmas, which has gained 1,000 subscribers in a week. We really can't believe it, but it's happening. We hope you enjoy. Peace.